So it's 6:14 a.m. and I literally just landed in Saudi Arabia in Jeddah. In this video, I show you my first day in Saudi Arabia as I explored this country that turned out to be very different from any other Arab country I've visited so far. This video is brought to you by our sponsor TapToSend. More on them later on the video. Okay, so it's like 10:28 a.m. and I'm waiting at the gate at JFK to board the flight to Saudi Arabia. So then I got a Saudi Airlines flight for 12 hours, basically slept the whole time, and I arrived on the west coast of Saudi Arabia. And I have a 12.5-hour layover over here. So in the next 12 hours, I'm gonna explore this historic city and show you the best attractions. Saudi Arabia has Mecca and Medina, the holiest sites in Islam where millions of devout Muslims make their pilgrimage. The people in white that you see at the airport are, I'm guessing, here for that reason. I'm in the baggage claim area and I just crossed immigration, and this was by far the friendliest airport staff I've encountered in the Gulf countries. Like in the other ones, people usually didn't say much. If they did, it wasn't like very helpful. Found a Bangladeshi friend. As expected, this is quite the fancy airport. Okay, now I'm going to the rideshare app pickup zone. It should be right up ahead. This is really cool. There's trains directly from the airport to both Mecca and Medina. This is so people don't have to waste any time if they're here on a pilgrimage to do the Hajj or Umrah. This place is called the Gate to Mecca, and I'll tell you more about that why later in the video. I just stepped out of the airport to wait for my ride share, which was a lot cheaper on the app Kareem Middle Eastern Uber than it was on Uber. It was literally like $10 cheaper. And it's 7 and I can tell how hot this day is gonna be. Nadir? Yeah. So we're going to the first spot, which is gonna be directly in the sun. Let's just hope it doesn't get too hot by the time we get there. Google was warning me about like a heat wave in Jeddah today, so hopefully it's not gonna be too unbearable. So just like the UAE and Qatar, there were a lot of beige and white buildings. Jeddah, I realized when I got there, is a massive city that takes forever to travel through. So we're at our first attraction of the day. It took like 25 minutes to get here from the airport, but this is the AlRahma Mosque, often called the floating mosque, because as you can see, it's on the Red Sea, and during high tide, it basically looks like the whole mosque is floating, and I guess it's not high tide right now. So you're not seeing it at the best time, but this is the only time we can make it here before it gets too hot. And this is like a really pretty mosque, you know, with one central dome, and I think 52 domes over there, which we're gonna try to explore in a second. But this is not an ancient mosque. This was only built in like 1985. There's like mosques of way higher significance not too far from here in Mecca and Medina. Obviously, it's my first day in Saudi Arabia, which is one of the largest countries in the world. It is literally the 12th largest country in the world. It sits taking up almost all of the Arabian Peninsula, which is the largest peninsula in the world. And on one side, to the east and north, there is the Arabian Gulf or Persian Gulf, depending on who you ask. On the other side is the Red Sea, separating Saudi Arabia from Egypt. This puts it at a very advantageous position historically of being able to trade on both sides and both these seas. And this city, Jeddah, basically became important because it was a very important trading port from thousands of years ago. A little more about the history of Jeddah. This place has had human settlements for more than 2,000 years. It was always an important city on the trading routes that went on to the Indian Ocean, and it became especially important in like the 6th century or 7th century when under the 3rd Muslim Caliph, this was declared as the port city for all pilgrims to come to before they went on to Mecca. Mecca still doesn't have a airport because the Saudi government decided that it's not good to let airplanes fly over this holy site. So people still fly into Jeddah instead of like taking ships to Jeddah like they used to back in the days, and then go to Mecca through these trains or buses. So over the last 1,500 years, the city has come under the control of different rulers, notably the Mamluk Caliphate and then the Ottoman Sultanate. It's a lot of history there. Today, it's not as important of a city politically as it used to be, but it's still like the most important commercial city in Saudi Arabia, owing to its location on the port. Jeddah is in the Hejaz region in western Saudi Arabia, which is host to 35% of the country's population, and it has its unique culture and architecture and food that we'll see later as we go into the old city. And it is the 2nd largest city in the country with a population of something around 3.5 million people. The water here is so clear in the Red Sea. Apparently, it's one of the best spots in the world for scuba diving. Obviously, I won't have the time to do that today during my 10-hour layover. Wait, 8 hours left or 9 hours left so far. But I want to come back to Egypt and do that sometime in the near future. So I found someone from Bangladesh who watches my videos. He's offering me to see the floating mosque. It looks really beautiful. Wow. So I don't think the mosque is like officially open for prayers today, but he was nice enough to show me a glimpse of the inside, and it's like so gorgeous. The view from here is really extraordinary. Rhode Bhai was saying that it only gets better when it's high tide in the evening and the water's like higher up. This is insane. The architecture of this place is inspired by like Ottoman architecture, but a lot of the calligraphy and design is also inspired by like Moroccan and Egyptian architecture. So it's like a mixture of all different kinds of like Islamic architecture, since it's like a recent mosque that was built in 1985. So mosques around the world have like donation boxes that are passed around to donate to the mosque. This one has like a fancy credit card booth where you can come donate with your credit card. Touchscreen. Speaking of money, if you're a Bangladeshi abroad who needs to send money back to Bangladesh and you don't want to deal with any hassles, you should check out this app called TapToSend. TapToSend is a really simple app using which you can send money to Bangladesh from the US, Canada, UK, Europe, and the UAE. There's a lot of good reasons for using TapToSend. First of all, there's no transaction fees no matter how big of an amount you're sending. Number two, the transaction times are pretty fast. Number three, the exchange rates are also pretty good compared to the competitors. Number four, using TapToSend, you can send money directly to a bank account or a bKash or a Nagad account, or even using a PIN code to certain banks. And number five is that for my viewers, TapToSend has offered a special promo. So if you use the promo code OTG on your first transaction, you get a bonus. So it's $10 bonus if you're sending money from the US, 10 Canadian dollars if you're sending money from Canada, 10 pounds if you're sending money from the UK, 10 euros if you're sending money from Europe, and 25 dirhams if you're sending money from the UAE. So if you're sending money from someplace like the UAE or like Italy in Europe, where you have to waste time and money going to like an offline exchange house to send money, this will save you a lot of time by just doing it online. So make sure to check out TapToSend if you need to send money to Bangladesh. Stepped out and it's hot again, so I guess it was air conditioned inside. The architecture out here is really pretty. I can see why this is a famous mosque. So we're in this like fair area, which is I guess open normally, but it just closed. It's right next to the mosque. Yes, all this area over here is apparently like really new. All the fancy stuff, the yachts over there, none of it existed before COVID. Now I'm taking a taxi to the next spot, which should be like, I think 4 or 5 kilometers that way. So waiting for the Kareem, and turns out everyone here is from Bangladesh, the people that are like working around the area. Aww. Got to play with a really friendly golden retriever, so that was really nice. Such a good boy. So the Kareem driver dropped me off at this like really pretty jetty, it seems, in the Jeddah Waterfront area. So this area is basically a really beautiful, recently developed area with a lot of palm trees, sandy beaches, baby waves, and crystal clear water. Just really pretty. I lost my water bottle at some point in the last couple of hours. This is falling over. So I lost my water bottle at some point in the last couple of hours, so I need to go get that. Thankfully I didn't lose another mic or a receiver. This camera is falling off. I need to go get some drinks, and Saudi Arabia is like notorious for everything opening like super late, so let's see if I can go find something. Man, the big sandy beaches over here really reminds me of California, Southern California beaches. Except the trash bins would look a little bit different over there. Met some Bangladeshi gentleman who said I could go across the street to find some juice. So I got myself an orange juice, which costs like 11 riyals. I think a lot of people here don't like understand English very well. This police officer asked me to stop. He's telling me I can't film with the camera, so I was so confused. I was like, I can't take pictures? He's like, you use your phone. But he didn't really speak anything except Arabic, so it was hard. But then he saw my passport and saw I was like a tourist, and he was like, yeah, that's totally fine. Just running across another viewer. So I just took a taxi down to the south side of Jeddah to this place called Al Balad, which is like the historic old town. This was the core of the old town since back in like the 7th century. In front of me is this gate that's called the Old Gate of Jeddah. I believe this was part of the walls that the Ottomans built around the old town of Jeddah back when they had controlled the area. I'm gonna go inside and take a better look. So just the buildings around me here look a lot older than anything we saw on the Corniche for sure, but there seems to be a lot of construction. So you see the ancient buildings here with coral walls and like balconies and windows made out of wooden in like very ancient architecture. But this place basically has been pretty run down in the last half century, because after the oil boom happened, apparently like a lot of the wealthy people that used to live here basically just moved out, and a lot of the people that started living here were not very well off. The place got run down pretty bad. But now the government has realized the historic importance of this place and is largely renovating this place. You see like construction workers everywhere. All the old buildings are like sealed off, and they're like heavily trying to renovate the place to like restore it to some of its former glory. I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find some stuff without construction going on. Okay, starting to see a little bit less construction as I walk more inside. Just walking around the area and everything here looks so old. I honestly like it. This is the kind of stuff I like seeing, not the fancy architecture, but the old buildings. Bangladeshi naki? Bangladeshi. That's it. I'm Bangladeshis everywhere. Sound is 7 up. Please. Found another reviewer who gave me free 7 up now. Man, from the reactions of everyone around me, it's pretty obvious that people here are not used to seeing a tourist with a camera. So even though this is the old town, it's still like a pretty dilapidated place, mostly with working class people living here, and doesn't really get a lot of tourists. You can see my next destination right in front of me. Alright, so on another side of Al-Balad is this gate called the Gate to Mecca. Like I said back in the days, people who wanted to go to the pilgrimage to Mecca used to come to Jeddah first as a port city, and back in the days, pretty much all of Jeddah was inside walls of the old town. So they basically come out of Jeddah this way and head towards Mecca, which is that way. Now it's not really a special place, there's like renovation going around on that side, but it's still like a very historic site for Islamic history at least. So I've been traveling for like 86 hours now, and at this point, I'm just so tired, and it's so hot here. It's like 36 degrees Celsius. That's close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That I've literally just been sitting on this chair under the Gate to Mecca for the last 30 minutes. Maybe I've just taken a break. Looks like there's a little market area over here selling like jerseys, sandals for cheap, it looks like. Is this for brushing your teeth? There are these things here that like you can use to like scrub your teeth clean, and this is what the Prophet used to, I guess, clean his teeth with, so it's like sunnah. Oh wow, okay. We saw some swords here, it's 100 riyals. I guess it's blunt, right? You can't cut people with it. Are those real guns? I don't think they understand English. Shukran. Thank you. This place is like, everything is counterfeit and cheap. Going through an indoor shopping area now with some air conditioning, which is really nice. Could not stand the heat, so finally had to put my hair up. So there's Riyad Bhai from Bangladesh. He wanted to get me a coffee or like a Coke too, but I'm honestly just so tired. I just wanted a seat because it's like hard to walk around in the seat. Somehow come in an alley with a lot of greenery. Speaking of aesthetics, check out this place I found in Al-Balad. How much is an iced cappuccino?
Iced cappuccino, 50 riyals.
Okay guys, there's a rooftop cafe I wanted to go to, but then I realized it would be the most insane thing ever to try to go to a rooftop cafe right now. But found this indoor cafe right next to me called Roshan Cafe. Really nice and cool, which is what I needed. Like really nice interior, beautiful decorations, beautiful chairs and couches. But I'm just so wet, I didn't want to get their couches wet, so I'm like sitting on a chair. And I ordered an iced cappuccino. I don't know if it's the heat or it's just the 80 whatever hours of traveling, but I really don't have a lot of energy left. The cafe was closing, so they basically kicked me out. So I'm like trying to find some actual restaurant outside of Al-Balad just to get some proper food before I have to head to the airport in a couple of hours. Then I walked by this really pretty beige mosque and ran into even more viewers. Okay, I was looking for some food, ended up in an Indian restaurant. Got some chicken tikka masala and some tandoori roti, which is a lot more roti than I expected. And I also got a karak chai. So all that combined I think was around 25 Saudi riyals, which is like $6 or $7. Tastes even better than it looks. Managed to finish this. This was delicious. The chai is here. Okay, so there's 3 hours left till my flight, so I'm heading back to the airport right now. Okay, so finally I made my way back to Jeddah International Airport and got on the airport train to get to my gate. So I'm ending this video here for today, and I got into the airport like 2 hours too early. Crossing immigration was so fast. No questions asked. Luggage checking wasn't an issue because it's already there. I wish I could have showed you more of Saudi Arabia, but there's only so much I could do in 8 hours realistically while it was so freaking hot, while I was wearing like jeans and a black t-shirt. If you like this video, feel free to like it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos like this. Feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want real-time travel updates. I'll catch you guys in the next video from, most likely, Indonesia.